All right, so we're so excited to welcome on Renata Fast from the Toronto Sceptres, who is, we should have saved our applause, Defenseman of the Year. Now we applaud.
Adam, Defender
of the Year.
Get it right.
Excuse me. I apologize. That's just bad habit. I apologize. I know. A bad person.
Totally fine.
Bad person. So Renata, welcome. And we got to get you a little closer to the mic because these are really sensitive mics. I should have warned you beforehand. So first off, I think the thing is, hockey is such a team game. And I know you're going to make it about the team, but that had to feel pretty friggin' good, right?
I mean, yeah, it was pretty special. As hockey players, we always bring it back to the team, but it was a good year. I felt like personally I took some strides, which I was happy with. I went in with some goals to try to be more offensive, and I showed up on the score sheet more, which was great. And but I think I still kept it safe on the defensive side of the game. So I was happy with my own individual year. And obviously the girls were a huge part of that as well.
I don't think you're known for your toughness, but you led the league in hits.
I did,
right?
yeah.
It's 63 hits. You led the league.
Yeah.
What is that like going out there and throwing the body? Is that an important part of your game?
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things that the PW has done to the women's game is allowed for us to have a little bit more body contact. I like that we don't line people up open ice and hit that way, but I think we should have the green light along the boards if you take a good angle to hit a player and rub them out. So yeah, I love it. It's my favorite part.
How'd you figure out you were good at it?
Well, I think I played the line a little bit before we were allowed to do it. So, so I was in the penalty box a lot before, not to say I still was this year, but I think I just always played with a physical edge, and then this just opened the floodgates a little bit.
Awesome.
So I got to ask, because, being a defenseman, being kind of rugged and that sort of thing, you're going to get people who are pissed about that. So who is the best chirper in the league? Who's got the best lines? Who's got the one that you're like, man, I know they might embarrass me tonight with a line that they have or something like that? Yeah. Is there somebody out there who's got really good, good on ice banner?
Yeah, there's definitely people, but I want to say my own teammate Emma Maltese is probably
really
the biggest. But
she seems so nice.
Well,
firecracker.
Firecracker's the right one. Yeah. Sometimes in between periods, she'll tell me some of her chirps that she says to people, and I'm like, Emma, how do you pre-plan this?
She's workshopping material with you.
Yeah. I'm like, this is crazy. But I would say actually a sneaky one, Rebecca Leslie. She chirps out there on Ottawa Charge, and she used to be our teammate. She can chirp.
Well, that
a little
helps
bit.
though. I think sometimes when you know somebody,
info.
right?
Yeah, they have some dirt on everyone.
There's a couple players on the Charge there that kind of toe the line with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Not to get into specifics, but a couple big hits they laid in the playoffs there that weren't the greatest.
Yeah.
So this is a big year for the PWHL. It seems like every year is a big year for the PWHL, but now you're 2 seasons in. Season 3 is going to have 2 new teams, and the expansion was aggressive, in terms of players that were taken. And I think specifically for us in Toronto, Sarah Nurse, seeing her leave sucks, right? She's not only is she a great player, but she's a fantastic ambassador for the sport.
Yeah.
And so I guess from your perspective, how hard is it to see a player like that kind of leave in that fashion? Because, I've never got the chance to talk to any player about expansion. It's sort of we're just going to take you because we can, right?
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple weeks, honestly, in the PWHL, just between the expansion draft and then the entry draft and everything. There's just been so much player movement. But I would say a player like Sarah Nurse, when you think of Toronto Sceptres, for a lot of people, that's who they think of. So obviously that's a huge move, and she's a big part of our team for what she brings, and she's a huge ambassador for the sport. So it's very difficult, but I think it's also a great opportunity for the league to have a player like that in Vancouver to start a franchise. So obviously extremely difficult for us as a team, and it'll be hard to fill that gap. But it's been a crazy couple of weeks. I'm constantly loading my Twitter to be who's going where, what's happening. It's been nuts.
Yo, me too.
Imagine you have been.
What has it been like? Because we were talking. We know we've spoken to each other on the phone before. We don't remember when it was.
No.
And I was trying to do a little history, trying to figure out how many years ago it was, and I was like, okay, well, if it was around here, that's when the N-dub folded, and if it was around here, that's when the C-dub folded, and that's How is it to have a little bit of? I know we were talking about the league being a little chaotic because of expansion and everything,
Yeah.
but you actually
Chaotic
have
for good reasons.
some stability
Yeah.
for the first time.
Yeah, it's actually been incredible. Like, and even just to watch everyone's game grow in the last 2 seasons because we've had that consistency of practicing and playing at a high level with really good coaching and really good management. It's been more than we could have ever imagined. Like you mentioned, like I played in the CWHL for years, and it was nothing like we experience now. And so it's just been so great to wake up every morning and all of us, all 23 players on our roster, can go to the rink and just focus on hockey. Before it was like, okay, maybe you had the national team players that could only focus on hockey, but everyone else had a million other things going on to like make the money they needed. But now we have a full team that's coming and training professionally. So it's so great. And you're seeing how much the game's growing even from the pro level. Like girls are coming out of college and they're still developing, and that's just going to continue, and the game's going to continue to get better from the grassroots all the way up.
You were also nominated for MVP. And like, so when I think your game, it's not the hit side of things. I think about the offensive ability. You 22 points in 30 games, I think it was. You lead all defenders in points in the season. And that balance of having a great offensive game and defensive game. Growing up, did you model your game after any players like you watched and you idolized?
Yeah, well, it's funny because I actually played forward pretty much my whole time growing up until I was in late high school.
That's why you got such good offense.
Yeah, I guess. And I didn't watch hockey growing up. So, like, I just played it because I loved it. But I would say that Cheryl Pounder and Becky Keller were 2 women in the city of Burlington who did summer camps, and they were around the rinks a lot. So they were 2 people that I looked up to. But I wouldn't say, like, I modeled my game after anyone in particular because I didn't watch it really.
Oh,
but I feel like now it's changed so much. Like, now that went to university, I started watching hockey, and yeah, a lot of the time I was modeling my game after a lot of the men. Like now I look at Cale Makar, Quinn Hughes, those are 2 players.
I think of you as like Cale Makar of the PW.
I love watching them play, but I think it's incredible to think that now young girls can watch the PWHL and aspire to be like some of us in the league and play like us. Yeah. So I mean, I didn't really have that growing up, but I think there's so many options for players now to look at our games and model their game after us.
I just have to say, just as a total aside, when we were not planning on bringing this up, that you mentioning Cheryl Pounder, I think she's a phenomenal analyst. Yeah. And and what Cheryl does so well is she's able to take something complex that you probably would have missed and just boil it down to here's simply what happened, and this is what led to this, which led to the thing that you actually remember happening. And for a guy like me who has terrible short-term memory, it's great. But also, I wanted to ask, so you did her camps. What's she like? What's it like to be coached by Cheryl? Because she seems like she's very intense, like very much detail-oriented. Passionate is the word?
Passionate.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, well, I was quite young, so I just remember being like in awe. I was a little bit scared, for sure. I was scared of her, for sure. But I think what's so cool now is that now that she's broadcasting so often, I've actually got to like shadow her on the broadcasting side of things. So it's like a full circle moment. It went from like being scared of her as like an 8-year-old on the ice as she was like the coach and like had Olympic medals, and now to like be in a position where I can have conversations with her and learn what she's doing now. But yeah, I was 100% scared of her, but she's incredible. I think she's doing great work.
In a good way.
Yeah. You gotta be a little afraid of your coach.
It was the passion. I was just like,
Oh my God.
And you've mentioned a couple of times the national team. The Olympics are coming up.
Yeah.
And that's got to be something you're preparing for and hoping to be a part of, I'm assuming. What's an Olympic year like for you? How does that change your training? Does it change your training? What's your day-to-day like now versus say last year?
Yeah, oh, for sure. Well, this is a little bit different because this is the first Olympics we've had where we've had like a true pro league happening like this. So it's a little with Hockey Canada. They're going to take about like 30 girls and have like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off starting end of August of training up until our league starts in November. So there's going to be a lot more commitments from a Hockey Canada side just to like get us prepared and get us together, and then also so they can make selections. So yeah, like off season for me right now, it was pretty quick. I took like 3 weeks off after season just to like relax, not do a whole lot. But now I'm like right into
you said you crushed a big workout this morning.
Did.
What were you doing this morning?
I was doing some hill sprints. I was doing some chin-ups. Honestly, I laid down after the workout on the gym floor, and I was like, am I going to make it to Toronto today for this? I'm so tired.
You could have canceled on us. We would have been okay with
I'm
it.
feeling great
Steve's
now.
like, yeah, me too. Right, Steve?
The reason I made that sound is when you were like, oh yeah, I had a big workout this morning. I'm like, well, I'm sure we're going to talk about it, and maybe I'll get some tips. And then you're like, so I started with Steve's least favorite thing, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no.
And I moved on to the thing that Steve could never do, which is the pull-ups. And I can't either, by the way. I looked at when they brought up the MVP sort of thing, Jesse just flashed across the screen. You averaged 25 minutes a night, basically. What's your recovery like? What do you do after a game and the next day after 25 minutes on average?
No one in the league played more minutes than you. Is that correct?
I don't know. Is that what the stats
I
say?
think that's what it said.
Oh, come on, Ron. You don't know that?
Yeah.
You don't know
Yeah.
We got a thumbs up.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so here's the thing about hockey players is we know you guys know your numbers.
I know.
You got a Connor Brown story with that too, where remember his plus minus?
It's Connor Brown, Peter Holland, like so many. You're all liars. you all know.
Tell the story.
You all know. Oh, because he had a really good season. I was like, yeah, but the season before, and he just cuts me off. He goes, you can say it. I'm like, what? He's like, I was a minus 72. I'm like, yeah, you were, man.
Yeah.
So anyway,
The conditioning it takes.
What's recovery like? What do you do? Do you drink a power shake? Is it like you eat a salad? Like, what do you do?
Eat a salad. No, not a salad.
Okay, all right. Because I don't like salads that much either. You can tell. What is it?
Yeah, no, protein shake right away. Got to refuel right away. So yeah, I find I just get into a pretty good routine. I like to roll out and just like socialize with the girls at the rink after and have my protein shake. And then, after that, it's get into the Normatec when you get home before bed.
Those are the compression pants?
Yeah.
I was just about to ask about that.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I don't sleep after games though. So if we have like a 7 p.m. game, I won't go to bed till like 3 a.m. Like I'll just be like
Wow.
laying there like, yeah, you can't.
You're just too
amped
hyped up. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have like a coffee at 5 because you're like your pregame coffee. So I don't sleep. So like I get into the Normatec. I'll just stretch a little bit and then I'm ready to
You watch
go.
documentaries?
Having a coffee at 5
Yeah,
bad?
documentaries. Yeah.
Oh,
What time do you have coffee at 5?
maybe 6.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Well, if there's a stream. So I'm like, yeah, well, I got to do a stream. And you're like, yeah, cool. I got to fly around for 25 minutes against the best players in the world.
Before we started this, I mentioned that you lived my dream
Yeah,
a
curious.
couple weeks ago, and I didn't tell you what it was, but you threw out the first pitch at the Toronto Blue Jays game. Since I've been a little kid, I've always dreamed about throwing out the first pitch. What was that like?
Look at that form.
I know.
Like pointing to my target.
85 straight down the middle, piss missile.
Okay, so it was super cool,
Oh.
but I would say I was quite nervous, and I like said to my husband before, I'm like, okay, we need to throw a ball because like I don't really remember last time I threw a baseball. So all we had in the house was a softball, and I was like, that's got to be similar. And then I felt the baseball when I got to the field. I'm like, this is so much smaller.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was super cool, and I didn't know who I'd be throwing it to, and then they were like, you're gonna be throwing to Vladdy, and I'm like, I'm throwing to Vladdy, like that's pretty cool. Yeah, so it was pretty special. I can't even watch myself.
How did you guys decide?
Hey, it was right on target, right?
How did you guys decide who got to throw the actual pitch?
It was actually one of our team management just asked me, like, do you want to throw the pitch?
Okay.
And I was like, I've been on the field before for it. I think Spooner threw it a couple years ago when I went on the field, and I was just beside her as she threw it. And then, this year when the team staff was like, hey, do you want to throw the first pitch? I was like, whew, it's my time. Like,
Can you bring the picture back up?
Yeah,
because this is the happiest anyone has ever looked ever.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is the coolest moment for anybody ever. It's so
oh
awesome.
my gosh.
Are you one of those? And I'm going to say this. So Jesse is a pretty good athlete. You can put him into anything, and he's going to figure it out. Are you
annoying.
one of these annoying athletes that's just like, oh, I picked it up yesterday and is the best person, or are you one of those?
I mean, I'm really competitive, so like,
Yeah.
I try to be.
What's something that you've tried like first day and then instantly were sort of just good at? Because like I notice it too, like with athletes like water sports, things like if you take somebody who's really good at hockey and you put them on water skis, boom, they're up.
Yeah,
like stuff
that was me. Yeah.
you were
Drop the ski right away.
On
Can you start on one ski?
No, I'm still working on that, but I
Still
barely
got you beat
do
there.
it. Yeah.
Still got you beat there. That's cool.
Pickleball?
Yeah. Okay, pickleball. I haven't played enough, but it's something I think I'd love. I've only played a couple times, but I play against my husband, and like he played hockey. He's a really good athlete, so he keeps me humble. Because when I'm like, I think I'm good, and then I play him, and he's like barely moving because he's like his arms are so long, and I'm like, well, and he's like, I don't even have a sweat, and I'm like, well, you're so big, so I'm sorry.
That's when you hit him right between the eyes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm
Oh,
trying.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and so another thing on the Sceptres, just very quickly here, because you've been so generous with your time, we really appreciate you coming in. Natalie Spooner re-signed for a couple years. We've known Natalie for a long, long time. Love her. She's always been so gracious with us. Can you talk a little bit about what she brings to the team, what a legend she is, especially coming back from that knee injury?
Oh my gosh, crazy. It's Scarborough, right? She's
Absolutely.
From Scarborough, so yeah, it
100%.
makes sense. No, Spooner is. Oh, I've played with her for a while now because I played in the CWHL and the Furies with her. But she's just such a special teammate. You don't get people like her very often. Like she's so bubbly, she's so positive. Like any adversity that comes her way, like this knee injury, like coming back after having Rory, like she's had some big battles in the last couple of years and comes to the rink every day with a smile on her face, ready to work. She just to see her have that incredible MVP season in the inaugural year, and just everything she touched was going in the net was really, really cool. But so it's great to see her sign for 2 years. I think a lot of teams were after her just for the type of player she is and the leadership that she brings. But we're lucky that she's staying here with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Renata Fast, and also I have to mention, you should sign up for The Beacon. Which is the Sceptres newsletter. And I was told before that you guys have a wait list for season tickets,
Unreal.
which is incredible. And the fact that you guys moved to a bigger arena and still have that wait list really says something. Thank you for the effect you've had in this city, selling this team to the fans, not just playing for it. Because I've got a little girl. Her first game was a Sceptres game, not a Marley's game, not a Leafs game. It was a Sceptres game, and it really did. She's not the most athletic kid. She's afraid of everything, but it really did kind of set her on the. Yeah, I think I want to try at least skating. And so having you guys there and, seeing this grow, this is really, really cool. And, we're big Jana Hefford fans here too. So long time, we think the world of her. So congratulations on all your success. And we're looking forward to season 3.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.